Hey everyone, Anthony Venuti here with In Touch Mortgage Solutions. It's Friday, Finance Fridays, and thank you again for tuning in for another episode. On this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 5 tips to help buyers, first-time home buyers who are looking to enter the market in 2022. We're going to give 5 tips on things and strategies that they can deploy in order to help them in the future of home ownership. Stay tuned, we're going to dive right in. Once again, we want to thank all our viewers for continued support of Finance Fridays, and as we embark on this financial literacy journey to help young Canadians understand the mortgages and real estate transactions and everything in between. On this episode, as we close out 2021 and we enter into 2022, it is projected that that is going to be a crazy market as well for a lot of homes, a lot of buyers, as inventories are at a record low at the current moment. So our goal is to help them understand some of the things that they will need to understand going forward and better ways to prepare themselves to, crack the housing market in Canada. So the first thing that I would like to address is something that for many Canadians they may or may not be aware of, and that is strengthening your credit. Keeping an eye on your credit and making sure that it is up to par for the lender's requirements. Now, with the holiday season upon us, it can get easy. It's easy to spend a little bit more and maybe let your finances out of control. And then come the new year, when all the credit card balances and credit card statements go out, making sure that you are on top of those payments and that you're not overspending. So the first thing is understanding your credit and making sure that you're on top of it. If you have any debts, any car payments, any loans, lines of credits, carrying credit card balances, do your best to try to reduce those amounts as we move forward in the new year, as credit facilities like Equifax and TransUnion can take some time to report those payments, as well as to help rebound the credit. Number 2 is start saving for your down payment. Now, in this market, as I mentioned, it can be very hard for young Canadians to save at the rate of home increases, the price of appreciation for homes in the market. So being diligent with your savings and trying to limit your expenditures can help you put more money aside to help you come up with the minimum requirement of 5% in this market. Putting money aside is something that's really important as we get through the holiday season and move forward into the new year. And you have basically some options. You can look to your RRSP contributions as we approach tax time as well. So if you have some extra money laying around, you can put it into your RRSP and utilize those funds for your first-time home buying incentive, as well as for your ability to use that as a down payment. But as I mentioned, putting money aside to crack the market in this current situation is very important. So saving and also looking to leverage the help of friends and family. If you have the ability to do so, start looking around and start asking the question if you can get some money for your down payment, and sort of look at what that can do and how that can help you. Now that brings us into point number 3, which is obtaining a mortgage pre-approval. Even if you may not be ready in 2021 to purchase a home, 2022 will come around and you will want to know exactly where you lie or where you rest when it comes to pre-approvals. How much money you need to put down, what your qualifications are, what your limitations will be, and understanding your credit and any shortfalls or any shortcomings that you may encounter. It's better to catch those things first and foremost. So point number 3, always speak to your mortgage professional about obtaining a pre-approval and providing the documentation that is required to ensure that that pre-approval is as solid as possible. And that brings us to point number 4. Point number 4 is with open houses and the ability to go online, like apps like House Sigma and Zillow and Realtor.ca. You can look at photos and you can start looking at prices of homes and speaking to your real estate professional about what the list price is and what the sale prices are. But this also helps you understand what it is that you're looking for once you've obtained a pre-approval in your budget and in your range. That is an important aspect of home ownership and going out there to look at homes, is understanding what's available for you in your price point, so that you actually get an ability to see what you're eligible for in different locations. right? You may have your heart set on a specific location. That budget may not be in the cards for you at the current moment. You may want to look at other areas outside of the GTA, maybe a little bit further of a commute. But as I said, that could be a jumping off point in order to get you into the market. And as you build some equity, then you can look to sell that home and move into your, next home, or, a longer term home. Tip number 5 is a very important tip as well, is, understanding your budget, right? So tip number 5 is sticking within your budget. Once you've gotten the pre-approval, you've looked around, you've built your credit, you've put some money aside, it can be very challenging to blow the budget out of proportion, especially when you go out there and you start looking for a home. In this market, because of the situations when it comes to bidding, multiple biddings, home prices selling for over asking, it's very important that you stick within your budget and you understand where your budget is. And we see this a lot with a lot of our clients who will come and say, hey, we saw this house, it was listed for X, but you start doing some research and you're like, well, all the homes are selling for Y, well over the list price. So understanding where you are in the market and what homes you're looking at, you should be reaching out to a real estate professional, understand that those markets, those homes potentially could be at a higher level. One piece of advice that I could give to a lot of viewers out there with all the technology is using an app like House Sigma. I'm not being paid for this promotion, but I do currently frequent the website because it does give you an idea, the app, it does give you an idea on the list price of the home as well as the anticipated sale prices based on the market. They have a really good algorithm. It is not 100% accurate, and obviously that depends on the sellers and it depends on the market as well. But it is a good indication to understand when you're going out there to look for a home so that you're not looking at the wrong homes and you're not wasting time looking at homes that are out of your budget. That's why understanding your budget and understanding your thresholds and maybe your contingencies is very important. Now, as we wrap up our tips, I did want to say one thing. For a lot of Canadians who are out there and they're a little bit confused on, when it comes to servicing ratios or land transfer tax or what legal fees may cost and, how much money to put aside, we do have an app. So if you click in our bio on Instagram, you will see an app for the Canadian Mortgaging app for myself. And you can utilize that app to help you run scenarios. It can give you a lot of information about what rates are available at the current moment, as well as help you plan out, based on your credit, based on your income. It can give you a qualifier amount that's not a pre-approval, but a qualifier is just to give you an idea of where you stand. And these are the steps that you should be taking in the direction if you are looking to get into the market in 2022. Once again, and as always, we hope you found this video helpful. And if you do find it helpful or you know someone that could benefit from this video, we always ask you to like and share it with a friend on Instagram or YouTube. It is always great, and we always appreciate the feedback to help educate Canadians on their options and give them some tips and advice on how to better present themselves and position themselves when they go to buy a home. Once again, it's Friday. We hope you had a great week, and we wish you an even better weekend ahead. Thanks for tuning in.